Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast, where we talk all things sports,
Sports betting.
and we sprinkle in some pop culture here and there. My name's Tyler Press,
And I'm Ryan McDonald.
and
This is the Bell Ringers pod.
hell yeah, baby.
We're getting there. As always, please subscribe on our YouTube at youtube.com/the Bell Ringers pod. Subscribe, like our videos, like our shorts, comment, and then go follow us on social media at Bell Ringers pod on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Today we got small NFL news. MLB Phillies injury update. Slightly good, slightly bad. The NBA, as always, the NHL, The Last of Us, and then a draft on chain restaurants.
Chain restaurants. Hype.
Kind of surprised we didn't think about this one before.
I know. I think we did fast food and then just completely wrote off like actual restaurants.
Yeah, that's fair.
It shows the lifestyle that we live. Doesn't
Yeah.
it? That's pretty sad. No, I thought of it like, I don't know what restaurant exactly, but I was like, I don't know if we've ever even drafted chain. Like, 'cause I think in my head I was just trying to debate like what my favorite chain like restaurants are, and I was like, we've never even discussed this on the podcast. Like, I actually don't think we ever did this. So definitely a big draft.
And I mean, this is one I don't eat that many chains anymore. Not necessarily just 'cause
No.
it's more just I just don't.
There might be.
It's usually like one or two that I think we kind of as a group have locked down that we always go to, or we go to somewhere.
Yeah.
That's like not a chain.
It's funny too talking to people like. Some families just gravitate to some chains more than others.
Yeah.
Holly was blown away that I've never had Chili's before.
I mean, I'll
Eating
be
with
honest.
her.
Like as a kid, ours was Ruby Tuesdays. It's not gonna, not a spoiler. I'm not gonna pick it.
Ruby
Don't think
Tuesdays?
they're around anymore.
No,
So that wouldn't be a good pick.
I remember I don't know, actually, I'm not gonna say the big one that I'm gonna draft, but TJ Fridays is one that I remember going to. Wasn't there Thursdays?
Don't remember Thursdays.
No, I might be thinking of Tuesdays, Ruby Tuesdays.
I did once cry in a Red Lobster because they didn't have green beans because that was the only vegetable as a child I would eat.
And you cried because you weren't gonna be able to get the vegetable you wanted.
Yep.
That's quite interesting. Actually, no.
Fun fact of the
I was gonna say I got a really funny fun fact about like going out to eat. I used to swear that my favorite food was ribs, and I would order it all the time. And I think I went somewhere and had ribs that were really good, so that I would order it every time we went out to eat. I'd order ribs and never liked them. And I was like, it was like clockwork. I order ribs, they'd come out and be like, don't like these, and like I kept ordering ribs and never liked them. And I think I did it like 6 or 7 restaurants in a row. My mom was like, you're not allowed to order these anymore. I'm like, I had some I liked at one point, and like just would constantly waste my parents' money ordering ribs and never
I would have
liking
just
them.
taken the kids menu and just crossed out ribs on there.
Yeah.
Like they don't even have
Well, they
them.
literally had to get to the point where like, you're not allowed. Like I'd say it and they'd be like, no, don't get him ribs, he's not gonna like them.
Either that or just go up to the waiter or waitress and be like, tell them you're out of the ribs. Just,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Tell me stop serving them. Yeah.
But going into the pod, the NFL, Aaron Rodgers still yet to pick a team.
Ugh.
Steelers still without a quarterback, and no, Mason Rudolph does not count as a quarterback.
No. Yeah, it's crazy.
I saw Joy Taylor, I think still with Fox Sports. She was upset with Aaron Rodgers for not reporting the OTAs, even though he's not
On a team?
Yeah.
Would it still be the Jets that he's technically supposed to report
Well, he
to?
got released to, so he's.
Oh, he got released, yeah. So, yeah.
I think I guess the idea might be she's upset that he's not picked
Picking
a
a team and going to
Which, like, in that case, yeah, you can kind of be fair. You're kind of leaving teams high and dry, and then it's going to take you, especially as a quarterback, you got to learn the playbook and stuff like that. So it's not an easy thing to just be like, hey, let me just go do this.
Yeah, you're really not setting yourself up for like a comeback season.
Yeah, especially with someone. It's not like he has like years in the future. It's basically this year or out.
Right. Every year you're like, is this going to be his last year? And he's just had so many bad years. Or not, I mean, not technically bad years. He had the injury year and then a bad year. And then you're like, all right, he definitely doesn't want to go out like this. He wants to go out in a good year. But like, again, you're not going to report to a team till late. You're not going to. I don't want to hear that excuse later on.
Pretty sure the Steelers do play the Jets early in the season too.
Oh, that's fun.
Maybe get him to bring out the American flag again. See if it works out better the second time.
Because there's no shot they do anything close to that again.
And then, like you said, OTAs starting. The Patriots OTAs started, and wide receiver Stephon Diggs was not there.
I just saw something about this.
Yeah, well, he was seen yesterday on a yacht in Miami with his girlfriend Cardi B and a bunch of other females.
There was, I think, some either drug paraphernalia or an unidentified drug kind of thing.
Well, I did see some drug accusations. I didn't see the video with the drugs.
Yeah.
I just saw, I don't know, no good way to put this, women throwing it back and him just being all up in there.
Well, that's not illegal, Ryan.
It's not illegal, but as my number one wide receiver, I'd rather be at OTAs in Miami on a boat.
I get it, yeah. You take it and give him back shots. Because I don't think
That's not what I said. I said throwing it back.
He's not throwing it back, so he's giving them. But
well, they were throwing it back on each other, and he was just kind of.
I don't think they can
applauding.
The NFL can do anything about. I mean, obviously,
no, they definitely can't do anything.
Not going to OTAs, but imagine suspension. Like we have video of you getting twerked on a yacht. That is the reason for suspension.
Stephon Diggs rule can't be seen with twerkers.
If you're not at OTAs, you cannot get twerked on.
Yeah, so last year we had Aaron Rodgers in a darkness retreat, and then this year Stephon Diggs
twerking.
Yeah,
getting twerked. That's good. Like, part of me kind of likes that for my wide receiver.
Well,
like, he's gonna have like it's a swagger position.
It's kind of where I was going with. I like a little bit of diva in my wide receiver, but at the same time, do all that, and then once OTAs start, I need you back on the field.
There's roughly two positions I want that.
Yeah, it's wide receiver and cornerback.
Yeah,
the two people that go against each other.
Yeah, the most
like,
swaggy.
The TO type where it's like I'm always open, always give me the ball.
And quarterback, you don't want your quarterback missing OTAs for.
I want him in church.
Yeah, I want him with his mom by his side.
Yeah,
not talking to women. Jaden Daniels. That's like that's the extreme. That's almost too protected.
Either that or Cole's Cash aficionado, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
MLB news: we unfortunately lost our sweet baby Bryce Harper last night.
Witnessed it live, Ryan.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Especially after you go, hey, does this bet still count?
Yeah, it was like Holly's work outing thing, so we got a suite. So I was sitting in the bar waiting for them to sneak me up to the suite level. Sorry, Phillies Stadium, but I went to a bar and I'm like, I'm just gonna grab a beer while I wait for them to come grab me. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I might not even be able to get in the suite. So there's a chance I'm watching this whole game by myself at a bar. I was like, might as well put some bets on it. Built like a 6-leg parlay. I think all hit except for Bryce Harper hit being one of them. Not getting hit, getting a hit. So that didn't hit. And I had a Bryce Harper no sweat home run. First at bat, drilled in the elbow.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a home run.
No, it does not.
At least there was no sweat, so you get the bet back.
That was, yeah. But, like, I texted, one of the guys I was with was, like, pretty sure that they can get voided for, like, an injury.
Certain sports books do, certain don't.
Yeah. But, like,
I know, like, BetMGM is one of the big ones on, at least, like, football players, basketball players, if they get hurt within the first half, it gets voided and stuff like that, or you get, like, your money back, stuff like that. I feel like in baseball, if you don't even get on base, if you're first at bat, you get hurt. Well, some of it is also, they have to record an at-bat or plate appearance. Like, certain ones will say an at-bat is what you need. Certain ones will say plate appearance. I think DraftKings is one of the ones that says plate appearance.
Right.
Which technically he got.
He technically did appear on the plate. That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, it stinks.
Yeah, I was really pissed. So then, oh my God.
But it obviously doesn't.
So because my bets didn't hit, I bought 50-50 tickets, and I have yet to look to see if I won.
Oh. If you were going to say you were going to win, I was going to be extremely jealous and pissed off.
Yeah, just bury the lead. Like, oh, man, I missed these two parlays. But I did win $20,000.
Yeah, that would have just pissed me off.
But on a lighter note, I won the 50-50 for $30,000.
But we did have slightly good news come out. The x-rays were negative, and it's just a right elbow contusion, but it is on his surgically repaired right elbow. Now people are, asking for Phillies pitchers to throw at the Braves.
I was honestly pretty pissed off that the next at-bat Ranger didn't beam somebody.
Well, it's part of it. I mean, it's not I doubt it was on purpose.
I don't care.
But
it's Strider, too.
Yeah, well, we can't hit Strider. That's the problem. If we could, I'd be like, all right, do it.
You can't, but adds a level to the anger of it. Like, if it's a regular pitcher, it's one thing, but this Strider's a piece of shit.
Yeah. And there might be one easily, targeted suspect that I have in mind that we could go after. Want to take a guess?
Wait, is the second
I'm blank from the Braves.
I am blank?
Yeah, there's a DUI video.
I don't know.
Marcell Ozuna.
Oh my God! Wait.
So he's
wait. What'd you? I thought you said his first name is Ian.
No, I said I'm blank from the Braves because the video, the cop just goes up to when he goes, I'm Marcell Ozuna from the Braves. The guy's like, okay,
I was
still got a DUI.
I was thinking Ozuna too, and then you said Ian something. I was like,
no.
I don't know an Ian on the Braves.
I'm sorry, but no. I mean, I think there's other things that are alleged that he did that aren't great. So I think it's a fairly people wouldn't mind as much with him, but at the same time, I think the MLB is going away from that as a whole, which is good in some aspects, not as good in others. But it's also like a division rival, so maybe you have to show your teeth a little bit more.
Right, I thought so. That's like I said. We all were saying first at bat, Rangers got to beam somebody, just get it right back. But
maybe just throw Nola out there for one pitch so he gets ejected. Like you can throw just one. You're good on one leg. Just throw one pitch, you get ejected. You're already in the IL. Will be fine. But with him, I mean, it's day to day, so he could be back at any time.
Yeah.
I was, obviously I didn't like to see he got hurt, but I was like, ooh, could get my boy Aiden Miller up in the majors.
There you go.
He's real young, kind of, it's early, but still, he could play third base and have Bohm go play first. Or there's, I think Otto Kemp was his name, went off in April for the Iron Pigs. Might have been another good option.
Yeah, but I feel like they like Sosa enough that I feel like they're just gonna go Sosa at 3 and Bohm.
Yeah, but like if you were to go on the IL, you have the opportunity to bring a player up.
Yeah,
which they might have just went with pitching, which maybe wouldn't be the worst option since our bullpen
has been dookie.
Yeah, but I mean, even with that said, we're still the second best team in the MLB.
Well, we won last night. How did we lose one?
Well, we're half a game back from the Tigers.
Okay, all right.
But I did see while looking at the standings, there's only 3 teams per league, like NL and AL, that have a winning road
record.
Yeah, which kind of surprised me.
And who is it?
Well, it's basically just the top 3 teams in each league. So it's the Tigers, the Yankees, and Seattle in the AL. Although Cleveland is 500.
Okay.
And then in the NL, it's us and the Cubs at 17 and 11, and then Dodgers at 15 and 14. I mean, I just would have expected with some of these teams being, about 600% winning percentage or higher, or like right around there, that they would have, you'd be at least closer to 500 or over.
Makes sense.
Just interesting.
It's quite interesting.
Moving into
playoffs.
NBA, both series both series are at 3-1. The Pacers.
All series are at 3-1 right now.
Oh, I have not been paying as much attention to.
All series at 3-1.
Doesn't mean good things for my Hurricanes.
Does not. Means pretty good for me, but.
But yeah, the Knicks Pacers up 3-1. They won last night in what was a pretty close game for a while, and then the Pacers just ran away with it. Mm-hmm. And we have news that Tyrese Halliburton's father is allowed back in the stadium.
So he
just in his suite at home.
He wasn't there at the last game, correct?
I think he was at the last game. I think
it was
after like the first Pacers game that they said he was allowed.
Halliburton had an insane stat line that last game.
Yeah, we triple double, and I think he might have had 40.
Yeah. No, he was in the 30s.
It might have 34. I know him and Siakam both had over 30. So
he was in the 30s, but none of the triple doubles, none of them were 10. I think it was 34, 12, 15 or something like that.
15 rebounds, 12 assists, I think. Yeah. It was absurd.
That's an insane stat line.
Which, I mean, I've been looking at his being like betting wise and being like, it'd be kind of fun to bet Tyrese Halliburton triple double. But then I was looking, he's like, hasn't gotten one all playoffs. Maybe I don't do it. And then I'm like, of course he does it.
Yeah, in astounding fashion.
Yeah,
too. Not even close.
Neesmith got hurt in Game 3, but he did play Game 4. Started Game 4, played 30 plus minutes. So I don't think they really have to worry about him, other than maybe just re-injuring it or re-aggravating it later.
Okay.
But they should be good going into the finals. I mean, some of these Timberwolves, I don't think have any chance to come back.
No.
Knicks, I think, it would be, like I said, I think it would only be it would be the 5th time, probably a 3-1 comeback. Not in the finals. But either way, I don't think the Knicks really have much of a shot.
Not with the way the Pacers are playing.
No, and both of these, the Game 4s, the teams, the losing team got the biggest lead of 2, and then every time they got within 3 or 4, the lead went right back to 7.
Mm-hmm.
So some of it's they just got to hunker in on defense and just really stop consecutive possessions, and they've just been struggling. Yeah, there's not really much to say. I don't think about the Timberwolves game. Ant couldn't really get up many shots. He was getting guarded pretty heavily. So I think some people are like, you got to shoot more as the best player. But at the same time, it's do you want him to shoot bad shots?
Right, and then he puts up a bad percentage, and then it's why are you being a ball hog?
Yeah, I understand the sentiment a little bit, but at the same time, it's at a certain point you build a basketball team around the player, not just out of one player.
Right. At some point, they are a playoff team in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. He should be able to dish it out if he's getting double teamed, and they should be able to score.
And as long as he's playing defense and still facilitating the ball, moving around, and not just a slug out there,
right?
I think you're fine. There is we don't touch WNBA much, but one of the funniest Twitter accounts I like is NBA Central. They like to troll people online, faking as NBA Central, which is a news reporting.
Yeah.
X.com.
I think I've gotten burnt by that a few times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you sent some screenshots to the group chat. No way.
Yeah, and you're like, nope, misspelled.
But I don't think the fans of the WNBA are aware of Sentinel.
Okay.
So they're just getting trolled hard, and
That's
it's
probably
one
for
of the
the best.
funniest things I've ever seen. I think they posted recently a bunch of stuff with Caitlyn Jenner. Or not Caitlyn Jenner, Caitlyn Clark.
They're really coming down on Caitlyn Jenner right now.
But I think she may have gotten injured, or maybe this was also part of the Sentinel tweet. They're like, with Caitlyn Jenner's injury of 2 weeks,
Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, Caitlyn Clark. I'm just stuck. The WNBA Instagram has lost 95% of its followers. It just showed a screenshot with them like 3,000, and just a bunch of people being like, "This is all like a joke, or just all Caitlyn Clark fans making stuff up." And everyone's like, "We got him, boys. We got him." They posted one about the WNBA banning fans that boo. Like you just get kicked out, and they're like, and some people are like, "Yeah, this is what we need." Everyone's like, "This is a joke."
Yeah. People, WNBA fans tweet like, this is what we need for the WNBA. This is appropriate. We need only mature people in our audience. Like that, no one's gonna show.
Even Dave Portnoy got tricked by that one because the picture of him at the Indiana Fever game was used, and he got fooled by it. He's like, "This is all just this is so dumb. Like, why would they ever do this?" And
oh, Dave.
Yeah, he's got old eyes. Not great.
Yeah, you can't blame an older man for messing up a social media tweet.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Just like actually, I don't really have a good example, but well, I do. I just can't. I can't say it.
Is it Ray Allen?
Yep, it's Ray Allen tweet.
Or Unk going live on Instagram.
Oh, God. Unk's caught in a lot of mischief right now.
Yeah, he's going through it.
I think they both had a podcast together. Unk and Dave Portnoy.
Dave came on to Unk's podcast.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. But.
Yeah. It said something. The biggest clip I got from that was I think Dave said something about Unk was blown away that Dave's ex-wife still has access to his bank account.
But he's talked about that before, and I mean his reasoning kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like she was there through the whole process, like
the bad part of
the
being
bad
poor.
part. So he's like, I trust her. She
and she's had it for this long. She's probably not going to do anything.
Yeah, and I also think he's got enough money that she could live above her means, and he wouldn't even notice the difference.
But he probably makes enough where it's like if she took a bunch, he'd probably just be able to all right, you're cut off now, and just get it back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But some Sixers news. Podcast P is back.
What, like podcasting?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay,
he had Gilly the King on, and Gilly I think just told him straight up in his face that him and Embiid didn't do enough last year, and they should trade Embiid and just start rebuilding. Just right to his face on his own podcast.
I mean, it's been a thought, but that's crazy. What did you see what Paul said?
Well, he kind of admitted, took some blame, he kind of fucked up, wasn't a good season last year. I think he did blame some of the injuries, which, truth or not.
Yeah.
But it did seem like he took some blame, and he was like, all right, yeah, I know I need to be better. He talked about how some fans were like, oh, we should have just kept Tobias if you're going to do this. He's like, yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Tobias...
what did Tobias do? He was balling out in the playoffs.
Tobias, not really clap back, but he posted a picture online with just, after the parade. And I didn't really get that tweet because he's not been in a parade.
Yeah, that is.
Unless the Pistons had a parade for going to the playoffs.
Making the playoffs?
Which they might have because they haven't won a playoff game in a while.
Yeah, I could see it.
But I know I've said I would go through and do some research on the draft, which I have some, but we're a month away. I'll get closer, but there's some rumors about trading the pick.
Okay.
Because one idea I don't mind.
KD?
Don't want that. No.
Yeah, I seen
Gosh,
that somewhere.
no. Don't give me an older person on our
Which
team.
is just the theme that we go along. Well, who's the young buck that you want to get?
Laurie Markkinen would be fine.
Okay.
But it would do it because a lot of people would be 3 and Paul George for someone. 3 and Paul George for Laurie might be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's young, and I think at this point probably better, or at least about as good.
The third pick.
That's yeah.
But
there's no one I'm really finding that I like at the third pick. I also wouldn't hate just trading from 3 to 8 and getting because I think the Nets might have 8 and 19. If we could trade back and trade 3 for 8 and 19, I wouldn't mind that. Or 8 and next year's first, because right now we don't have a first round pick next year.
I'd much rather do that than trade back our first pick and then get a first pick next year.
Because there's no one I really like at 3, so I'd rather move back a couple spots, not too many, and get big. All right, well we have this group of guys that we're all kind of around the same point with. Trade back, get one of them, and we don't have to we can get someone else next year.
The only problem with that is if there's not really someone that we're thrilled about at 3, I don't know if many other teams are gonna jump and
Yeah.
give away a first
Well,
round pick. For
you kind of
somebody at 3.
hope that just some team is like, oh,
Obsessed with the guy.
I love
Yeah.
this guy. Like this guy fits our team really well.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, I mean it's all hope. Yeah, I mean it's basically most of it. I mean otherwise you trade 3 for like 8 and like a role player.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're kind of like you're basically trading a possible all-star for a role player and a probable another role player.
Yeah, that's the only reason I kind of like want to try our luck with 3, just because like I don't see like with what we've been doing with trades, like we get like just mid average skilled players and like building a team, and then like you can't like obviously when you have like a star like Embiid and a star like Maxey, you can put average people around them and have some success.
Yeah.
But when you have when one of those 2 guys are consistently injured and not on the court, you need better all around players around them to like lighten the load off Maxey. Like Maxey's great, but Maxey can't carry an entire team by himself with no Embiid and a bunch of average players.
Yeah,
like,
I mean we got kind of lucky that the first season we went to the playoffs with Simmons, where like Embiid was out and Ben.
Ben actually stepped up.
Ben stepped up, and we won 16 games straight. Like that was kind of an anomaly.
I really liked Ben. I was gonna say I was a big fan of Ben.
I did too, but then
I was a big Ben defender, even though he didn't shoot. I was still like, he's still such an incredible athlete, and I was like, he's driven. He's like he's an animal. I'm like, well, then he started becoming a pussy, and I'm like, all right, now like I can't defend this guy. Anymore.
I liked him until he got scared that there was a 6'1" person in the paint.
Oh my god!
Which, granted, I would also get scared of a 6'1" person in the paint, but I'm 5'8".
Yeah, Trae Young, he dished it off to what like Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah, not a like.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if it was a jump shot, but he was underneath the basket
and you're just jump and dunk it.
Yeah,
you'll get fouled. Which like I think
that was the thing.
Some of the fear was getting fouled.
Right, absolutely. But again, you should be able to make the basket and get an N1 if Trae Young's fouling you.
And part of I just don't get NBA players that can't make free throws. Almost every NBA player can make free throws or threes in an open gym.
Yeah.
So just stop being a bitch and make your free throws.
I was gonna say I mean, it's a big topic of conversation, but like Joel Embiid learned basketball at the age of like 18.
Yeah, but I think basically like a senior in high school.
Yeah,
he was playing volleyball before that.
So, and Joel Embiid is a massive human being and still shoots free throws better than a lot of people in the NBA, like which makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah. Like someone like Ben Simmons who grew up playing basketball, was semi a shooter and like called himself a point guard, a facilitator. You have to be able to make free throws, and you should have been able to learn to make free throws at least a decent rate.
Yes,
like
75 to 80%. That's all I ask for. If you go to the line twice, I need 3 out of those 4.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
basically
have to
all I need.
Lights out with them, but like you can't be mediocre.
You need to be good enough where like, they can't just be like, "Oh, we're gonna foul you every time."
Yeah.
This is
What was it called? Like hack-a-ben?
Yeah. Which, granted, they've kind of added rules in there where you can't really do that. I think it's like if it's under 2 minutes of each, either half or quarter, if you kind of go for one of those off-ball fouls, the team gets to pick whoever they want to shoot free throws.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah.
Would have helped us then.
Would have helped.
But yeah, that's really all my NBA news.
All right. Like I mentioned earlier, NHL series are all tied up 3-1 as well. Or not all tied up, but all at 3-1 as well. The Florida Panthers are up 3-1 on the Canes. They were up 3-0 and almost had a sweep, and then Canes won 3-0. I think it was last night. So
Canes the restaurant.
Talk about a possible comeback. 3-0 is the best one you could do.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Didn't the Flyers do that against the Penguins?
No, I don't think it was 3-0.
No. Might be misremembering. You keep going. I'm gonna just quick Google it.
Yeah, Google it. I could be wrong. So the Panthers went 3-0 and then lost to the Canes. Kind of the opposite happened with the Stars. Stars won game 1, and then the Oilers went on to win 3 straight, and they're up 3-1 right now.
Oh, we were
down 3-0.
Nope. It says 3-0 in game 7. That's not
3-0. Okay. So
it says there has been the Flyers' win was a historic comeback, making them one of the only few teams to overcome a 3-0 series deficit.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was against the Bruins in 2010. For some reason, I thought we had one against the Penguins. Maybe that was 3-1.
Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, the Stars lost game 1, and then Oilers went on to win 3 straight. With one player in particular who's balling out, and it's not McDavid.
Is it Draisaitl?
It's not Draisaitl either. It is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah, I would say once McDavid and Draisaitl were out there, I lost any names of anyone I would know on the team.
Has scored 9 points this series.
Oh,
And like I said, they went on a 3-0 run right now, and he's been dominating.
Probably mainly because did they even score any goals in the first game? Oh, I think they scored one.
Yeah. I think the Stars won by like a good bit though. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 6-2 or something.
So yeah,
like that.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been absolutely electric for the Oilers. I mean, like I said, we kind of talked about how we thought the Stars were going to win. We'd be happy for Nick if the Stars won. The Oilers are an electric
well, I
and
mean,
exciting
now
team.
that the way that it's going, I'm going to be rooting for the Oilers because it was like I was rooting for my friend until it's like, all right, there's no hope. I got to lock in with another team. I can't be out of the playoffs.
No, that's right. So
I'm hopping off the bandwagon and hopping onto another one.
Yeah, and I was going to say
I think we said in the beginning we wouldn't mind seeing McDavid get a win
no,
either.
I 100% said that in the beginning that. Like, I was mad you got the Oilers from me because I did really want the Oilers because they are an exciting team, and McDavid would be an awesome one to see win because he's the young talent. Everyone knows he's talented. It's just the next biggest step in his career is to win the big one.
Yeah.
And then pretty much your career is solidified. You already had the talent. You got to win the big one.
Yep.
So, obviously, I'd be happy for the Oilers. But if it comes down to Panthers-Oilers, I hate being the guy that is rooting for like a back-to-back. Isn't it a back-to-back?
It would be, yeah.
So, that'd be kind of sad for me to stoop to that level. I mean,
you would be public enemy number one.
I think see, here's the problem, though, is no one really wants to root for the team to win back-to-back, but it's also USA versus Canada, right?
Oh, I get in that point. Yeah, okay, I can see this.
So
right, that's fair.
You're kind of you're the Canadian here, and I'm rooting for Team America.
We'll see who I bet on.
Yeah, we'll see. But I guess the series aren't over yet. We still got plenty of games left. I think tonight might be Panthers Canes again.
Yeah, we can't call the series until the chick twerks on Stephon Diggs.
That's right. That's right. Until the videos come out on the yacht, can't call that series. But yeah, that's pretty much my updates. We have tonight. Tonight is Panthers Canes, so I could be solidified in the Stanley Cup tonight. And then, like I said, I'll be rooting for the Oilers. I hate to say it, Nick, but Oilers would be more fun. But
I got your back until the series is over and the Oilers win.
Yeah, and then it's all Oilers.
Yep. Or
yeah.
well, let's say possibly.
Possibly.
You got it. I'll decide.
I'll tell you this: if the Stars come back and win,
oh well, yeah, I'm still going all
if
Stars.
either of these teams come back and win, I'm rooting for them. But yeah, as it stands right now, Panthers Oilers, I definitely will be rooting for the Panthers, which is, like I said, don't love rooting for the back-to-back champ, but it's America, it's USA, bro. It's pride.
It's a good point. Good point.
It's
I think
pride.
I did just see the USA won some hockey tournament. It might have been like some U18 thing or something like that.
Yeah,
but we're coming up.
Got the youth.
Yep.
That's all you need. All right, are you ready to move on to this finale, right?
Yes. It's mixed thoughts on the finale.
Absolutely mixed thoughts.
Just continuing to not like Ellie's character more and more.
Well,
but
I think they did a great job of making pretty much everybody feel that way this episode. Like,
yeah, no, that's fair. But
she was like, it was like how low of a level could she stoop to, pretty much throughout the whole episode. I don't want to we should try to go in order here.
I tried to keep it in order. I might have got something slightly out of order.
What do we start with?
Pretty sure she just came back. She off the rip came back.
Oh, she walks back in from the hospital, right?
And then
has some boo boos on her back.
Yep, which to me it did not look that bad at all. Like that looks like something I got as a kid going around in the woods.
The scratches, yes. The amount of bruising, and
I'll give that
can lead to definitely some banged up ribs or some messed up bones.
Yeah, I guess, but she didn't do anything to get banged up ribs.
So that was my thing: is where did these injuries come from?
Well, probably the woods, which is why I'm saying it's probably
I don't think she didn't get the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I mean. So probably just falling. I don't that's what I'm saying.
They all should be beat up like that.
Some of it might have been punches or whatever, basically from the clickers that she got in that little long thing.
Yeah. See, I think that might be the case. Is the scratches and everything from that. But,
which when she go sees the shirt with the blood marks, I was expecting her to pull it up and see bite marks.
Yeah, that's why I agree.
That's what I was fully expecting.
Yeah, me too. I remember thinking that as well. It also is funny, this pregnant woman who had just got an arrow shot through her leg is wiping off scratches and bruises off of Ellie, which is a little crazy, but
yeah. Well,
off the rip, Ellie comes in, and then they pretty much immediately make after the bathing, they make a mission to go get Tommy, right?
Well, yeah, but she first goes, what did she was like, where were you? I think she said, found Nora, And she goes, what did she say? She
Oh,
goes, I
right.
don't know. She was just saying whale and wheel.
Yeah, the whale and wheel.
And, like, what that ends up being is so dumb to me and just, like, so annoying that actually worked out.
Yeah. It is ridiculous.
I think we get the one little conversation where she's, like, you know, like, more, like, upset and, like, scared of herself that she didn't dislike hurting Nora to get the information out.
Right. It's just that, like, the torturing wasn't hard for her.
Yeah.
And it is funny, too, like, as Nora, like, you're already dead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have already breathed in the...
Inhaled.
Yeah, breathed in the pores, so you already have a death sentence. I can see on the level of just trying to stop the pain.
Well, I think it's just what it is. Just stop.
But again, and like that's why I don't know if she was like conscious enough to be that like cryptic about it, but like also just lie. Like you don't gotta give an accurate clue.
Yeah, like she's on the island. Go to the island.
But like, just be like, she's got a spot in, like Scarface Park. Like lie, set her up to go get her shit killed. Like.
Yeah.
If
What I mean, yeah,
she's going for Abby.
Say she's on the island because she didn't know what the island was before that.
Right, but I'm saying like set her up for fucking failure. If like,
oh yeah,
if someone's torturing me, asking me like where one of my like comrades is, like, and I know there's a separate park, or I guess it is a park, but separate area where there are just savages living. I'll be like, oh yeah, he's bunkered down underneath like by those savages, and then go let her get killed on this stupid mission that she's on to try and find Abby. Like. Whale wheel is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like you said, if she wasn't on that balcony right before sunset and that storm came in, she never would have seen that whale. And like, yeah, the Ferris wheel, but
and like if you're saying something, you could have said Ferris wheel.
Well, that's the thing.
Or pier.
I don't know if she was trying to be like cryptic about it, and so it wasn't too easy for her. But why even say anything accurate at that point?
Yeah. Yes, we get that. And then I think the next is we see Isaac with the other WLFs, like planning out.
Yeah, and they talk about the convergent storm coming in.
Yeah, it's just two storms converging. That's basically what, which like makes sense as why that would be like
a bad one.
Yeah, bad one, and probably better timing than hide in the cover of the darkness and stuff like that.
Right, not a good time to go out on a rowboat.
Yeah, no. Well, it was a rowboat. She had a motor.
Oh, you're right. It looked like a rowboat when she went into it.
That's why when I first looked at it, I was like, you got to be the dumbest person alive.
Yeah, you're going out in an absolute monsoon. You think you're just going to row yourself to that.
You've been living in Jackson, Wyoming for 5 years. I don't think you even know how to row a boat.
Right.
I don't know how she even knew how to operate the boat.
You also apparently have some pretty banged up back muscles and bruises. Like, yeah.
But the big thing, I was like, him just being like, yeah, we're all going to die. It's like, then why the fuck are you going there?
Right.
You could just like not do it.
Also, terrible pep talk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die. You're dead.
You're definitely gonna die. I'm probably gonna die.
We need Abby here to take over, and he's like, "Well, she's not here, so then what? Like, what are we gonna do? Abby's gone, and we have no one to take over because we're both dead."
And it makes me kind of wonder with like what we saw at the end of the episode, how long he's had this plan, and if he told Abby.
Might be
because like we know that this happened all within the past 3 days.
Right.
So what did she find this out maybe and then just dip because she's like, I don't want that responsibility. Which I wouldn't be necessarily surprised.
So I don't know if he ever told Abby that he plans on having her take over. It kind of seemed like when he was talking to the girl, like it was a belief of his. Like,
and he was going to do it then.
He wanted her to eventually like that was his like plan in his head. That's why he'd been like.
But it seemed like he was like, all right, I'm going to die tonight, so I need someone to take over. So it seemed like he needed to. It was I don't know if maybe he was upset because he couldn't say it to her then.
Yeah,
and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna die. So now she's never gonna know I picked her.
I think that could be a thing too. Or it's a reason why the whole argument really was like, where is she? Where is she? And the girl was like, why does it matter so much? We have a full like battalion. Like, why is it like the whole world stands still because we have to find Abby? He's like, because we might both die and someone has to be here to take over.
He's like, we got enough Connor and Sammys. I need more. I need more Abby's.
Yeah. Well, like when we both die tonight. She better be here to take over, and if she's not here, we're.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, why? She's like, why do you need her here tonight?
Yeah.
There's something going on. You love her? You love her, huh?
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. He's like, I know I'm an old guy, but I'm not that gross.
No, gross.
No, I'm just joking.
Ew. Yeah, no.
I like men.
Ew, not my type.
Yeah. Then they basically just we then like you said we go to them trying to leave to find Tommy, and they leave the pregnant lady behind.
Yeah, and I like how Jesse even said, "Hey, I can do this by myself," and Ellie was like, "No, you'd be better off with both of us." Just to ditch.
Yeah.
An hour
that
later,
was the best part.
like, you'll be safer with the two of us, and then you immediately leave him. Right before you go to Tommy, who you know people are coming after, like they're on the walkies asking for backup because of Tommy.
I don't think they heard it. Did they hear it at that point? I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
no, they were just going to the bookstore at that point. They didn't hear that until they were in the garage, the parking garage.
What, the Tommy needed backup, or that the guys?
It was like the parking garage. They heard that, and then that's why they went up.
Right, and then she decided to leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I meant like I thought you meant like in the beginning, like
no, like right before the decision that she made to not help Jesse find.
Oh
Tommy
yeah, I
and
think
to
meant
go,
before the decision just to leave and then go out with Jesse.
No, like that's the thing that makes it worse is she went out because he thought he needed help, and then it is very clear that Jesse will probably need help because they're calling for backup, fighting Tommy.
Yes,
and that's when you're like,
she's like,
I'm gonna go whale and wheel hunting and take a boat in a storm. Like,
I gotta go 2 miles and then take a boat another mile. But Tommy could hold it down for more. He's like, they're getting more backup. Yeah. This is not gonna go well.
They're calling for backup for Tommy. Jesse, you go and help him out. Like, it was ridiculous.
But we do get Jesse and Ellie talking, and Jesse's obviously clearly upset, and he's like, why did Dina say I can't die? I don't want to die.
Oh yeah,
and
we glossed over some good conversations.
She refused to drink. Well, this is all part of them leaving, and then she's like, what? Is she pregnant? And Ellie's like, oh no, dude, how'd you figure that out? And he's like, wait, what is?
Did she tell you?
And he's like, and she was like, oh, that was just a guess.
Shit,
idiot. I shouldn't have said anything.
I keep doing this. Yeah, which happens a little bit to us. Like, oh, like who told? Like, that's how I found out about Dina being pregnant myself. Was I said when she touched her? Remember, she touched her shirt.
Who told you?
She touched her shirt. I went, is she gonna tell her she's pregnant? Holly goes, damn, who told you? So it happens to the best of us.
Well, and he just immediately goes, now I can't die because I gotta get my baby mama and my baby home. Which I was like,
and I'm
you're dying. At that moment, I was like, you're dead.
I mean, that was classic like grip of like, I can't die now. I have a reason to live. Sorry, bud. Like,
you're dead.
You're in a hostile area, and you just talked about how much you need to live.
And don't worry, your baby already has a dad.
Yeah,
it's Ellie.
We have your replacement lined up. She is Papa.
But Jesse's like, oh, like I could see like Dina does like I don't love Dina the way you do.
Yeah, that was just gonna
because I love a chick from Canada. Don't worry, she's not from here. I guarantee she's real.
Sold dog shit paintings. Yeah. Were they good? Nah.
Bought 4 of them.
Yeah, but best 2 weeks of my life.
Also understand that you got to buy a couple of them.
Oh, I mean, yeah. How you gonna win her over?
Yeah.
No one else is buying them.
And then he's like, I can't leave because I got to be the next Maria.
Yeah.
And then dies.
They took me in. They fed me. They trained me. They prepped me to be the next leader. I couldn't leave. That was my responsibility. And she's like, oh, what? So now you're better than me because you didn't leave?
So yeah, because I'm about the community. Well, what your community is not my community.
Yeah, Joel was my community. Like, yeah, well, you guys would both be dead unless the whole community took you in.
Yep. And then they start hearing gunshots, run away into a parking garage.
Oh my
see
God.
a Scar come in.
The parking garage.
And then WLF quickly running behind. Ellie wants to go out and save the Scar, which pissed me off more than anything, I think, in this episode.
I was livid watching
I was like,
that.
you gotta be so
She's
dumb.
like, no, she's like, and like she throws a fit. He's like, are you brain dead? Like, that is, like, you've both seen what this person's people do.
Well, that's like, as soon as she said, like, she was doing that, I was like, they would not hesitate to kill you if they found you, which we literally found out was the case.
Yeah, the 6-year-old was like, off this bitch.
Yeah. Which I think ridiculous. That was kind of like part of like their like that wasn't that part. Her going on the island wasn't in the game. I think that was part of them being like, yeah, she was like, oh, but they're just kids, and Jesse being like, these kids are doing it too.
Yeah,
like, they're like indoctrinated in from the beginning, and just like showing that like what he was saying is without a fact true.
Yes, I agree. I think that scene was definitely added to really show her like, listen, like there's no saving innocence right now. Like these people will kill you immediately. Like there was no interrogation whatsoever. I'm not a wolf. I'm not a wolf. Kill her. And they immediately started killing her. Which I don't know if are we jumping to that scene because that scene pissed me off so much too.
I want to also mention we can get like they saw like the mural of the Scars like prophet or whatever.
Yeah, there's another prophet.
Yeah, which that's weird. Like, how many do we have?
I mean, I believe
Why
it
are they
too.
picked? I mean, I believe like
Because I don't think the prophet, like.
But they
I've
made
been
it seem
trying-
like it was one person. Which I don't know if they're saying like the prophet just hops from person to person.
I feel
basically.
like it's it gets passed
reincarnation
on
thing?
kind of thing. Reincarnation, yes. And I kind of had a feeling that this was going to be the case because I've been trying to figure out what this prophet could have done to earn the title of prophet.
I would love to know that.
Right? Because like, if it was just someone who was immune and they ended up dying,
That would be such a good way to do it.
That'd be one thing. But like, if it's just some founder and it's like there has to be something that makes you a prophet, or maybe as soon as the so-called person who originated the plan or originated the cult dies, like the next born in the cult just immediately becomes the prophet.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the immune thing would be kind of hard to do if it passes on.
well, no, that wouldn't be the thing. But apparently, there's more immunes. That's what like the guy said in the game was there was multiple failed attempts at making the cure with immune. So.
Oh,
in the
so that's
game,
how we knew that it wasn't 100%.
Yeah, in the game there are other immunes. I don't know if that might be how they bring them into this game. It's prophets.
That being said, I'm not gonna wait to play the games. I think I'm just gonna play the games this summer.
I said this too. Between
season
2 and season 3, I probably will end up. I might even just skip the second game.
I don't know if. That's actually not a bad idea. But I don't think I'll do that. We'll see.
Yeah,
To be announced.
to be determined. Yeah.
But yeah. So that part. But then we get to the scene where we're talking about where she sees the whale, and it's like, oh wheel,
Yeah.
wheel, there it is.
It all makes sense now. Thanks, Nora.
It's the aquarium.
What a great clue.
Oh, there's nothing. Nora could have just said aquarium.
Yeah.
You could have seen that on a map.
Yeah.
Granted, that might have been hard to get out as you're getting beaten to death.
Yeah. Aquarium.
Aqua.
Yeah. But I think it could have been.
Stingray.
It could have been like she was like so beaten up, like those are the only words she understood from a sentence.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Like, there's a building with a whale and a wheel. That's wheel.
Wheel was the best invention.
Yeah, wheel. He originated the wheel by a whale. But so yeah, she sees it, immediately says, "Hey, Tommy, I got my own mission now."
Tommy can handle it. He can hold him down. And
Yeah.
Jesse's like, they're getting back up. You just heard it on the radio.
we
Probably
both,
not going to be
We
good.
both heard them call for backup. I can't do this by myself.
I know how many bolts he brought.
Yeah.
He's already at half. This isn't going to go well.
Yeah, Joel is my community, so your community. I'm gonna go kill her.
It's like your community's also now your uncle.
Yeah, Joel's brother. That could be your community. The baby daddy to your apparent kid.
Yeah, your stepkid could
Yeah.
be your community.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, the whole thing is you guys.
is Dina not your community
Well,
either?
it's the whole thing was like they were at that point going out to get Tommy and leave.
Right,
And it's like you got at some point just realize you're putting more people in danger than you need to.
right. And like my whole thing too is like get Tommy, and then like decide as like yo like I'm gonna do this, and like then at that point they can either let you go by yourself or begrudgingly be like fine, like we'll help you do this. Like at least we're not fighting a full army.
Yeah.
She's hiding by herself at this aquarium. We will help you with this mission. But like you're forcing Jesse's hand and being like, I'm gonna go do this by myself now. He's like, yo,
You
dude,
have
like,
fun.
why don't we go help like rescue our own first, and then we can all do it. Like
Yeah, no, it was just
the
terrible
logic's
decision.
not there at all.
She's like, we need a boat. We need a boat. He's like, what the f*** do we need a boat for? Going down the street. She's
Yeah.
like, well, we got to get to the whale.
But the whale, it's over there by the
right
water.
there.
She pissed me off a lot in that.
But then we found out, which I kind of thought and kind of guessed in the beginning, that Jesse voted no.
Yeah, we were arguing
I
over
kind
that.
of
He
didn't-
did vote. He did vote no. I said he was definitely. I mean, because there's 3 votes for yes, and it was like Tommy, Maria, and Jesse were the only 3 people we knew on the council.
Yes. But like I was like, I feel like they're gonna set us up for the fact he voted no, and like with everything he said, like I think I said, if he was gonna vote yes, I think he would have just said that from the beginning when he talked to her.
Well, I think my argument with that was, he told her like, prepare a speech. Don't just do it angry, and she did do that, and
Well,
like,
I think part of it
made
was
a
like
convincing speech,
I think part of it was like I need you to convince me and others, which I don't like, and I really, like I said, wasn't fully convinced with the speech.
I was gonna say I love the speech. I thought she did a great
but
job.
it didn't help her. Some of her supporting cast didn't help.
Yeah,
Mainly Seth,
because
Seth was mainly
took
just
all the anger for
yeah.
her.
But then we kind of already talked about her. She gets caught in the wave, which I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away. She had a dinghy of a boat.
Yeah,
and was like, I'm going to survive this converging storm.
Yeah, you didn't think that little boat could survive a convergent storm, and that would be like, oh, like we're gonna make this beautiful like scene of her like little motor going through this insane storm.
Yeah.
Where it's like rough wave, rough wave, rough wave, tsunami size wave just
I
out
think
of the blue.
Big thing, she gets caught in the wave. How the hell did she end up like a mile away on the island with the boat right next to her?
Yeah.
Like the boat didn't capsize.
Well, I think we're definitely.
They were not close to the island.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we're made to believe that she had to do an extensive amount of swimming because the fact that she got on the land and then literally could not move. Like,
I thought she was like passed out. So that was one of my other things. How did she pass out and then get there?
No, she like was like army crawling, and like was like struggling to get any movement going whatsoever, and that's why like she saw the kid and was like, shh, and then he immediately left and brought people back, and even like when all these people came to grab her, she was still just like, ugh. Like so I think
yeah,
like
fair.
she was exhausted from doing an insane swim. So, and like to a point of how she ended up with the boat definitely led the way. So at that point, I'm like, I'm swimming towards the boat just in case, like.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I don't know. I just thought obviously it doesn't really matter that much. It was just more of another annoyance.
It's not easy to swim during a storm like that.
It's not
either,
easy to swim that far, regardless.
Yeah,
and I don't think she has much swimming skills, being that she's living in a zombie apocalypse.
Right, I would agree.
Especially in Jackson, Wyoming, for the past 5 years.
Yeah,
I don't think she's swimming
classes.
almost at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Can't learn that much in a tub either.
Mm-mm. And didn't she like just recover from massive injuries, like rib injuries, when she made the trip to?
Allegedly.
Yeah. So, I mean, the initial trip to Seattle.
Yeah, no, allegedly. Well, yeah, ribs were definitely fucked up.
Yeah, that's like she's been bedridden for age. Like
Yeah.
like it's just it's crazy to expect her to pull that off. But
we already talked about the island a little bit, but yeah, she gets caught, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Gets hung up.
Like a little 8-year-old kid.
They're just making
Give the death sentence.
Go up.
Yeah.
And then they start hearing the
dude.
Sorry for your ears.
And then go, let her go. Do you know how quick it is to gut somebody's stomach? Like,
well, they kind of just did it like that before. They didn't even. Well, they just did that and then braze her, but
Yeah.
it really didn't take long.
no, that's what I'm saying, right?
Or at the very least,
take much,
you probably could have just tied the rope.
doesn't
to
take
the
long at
tree.
all.
Could have just tied the rope off.
So you hear attacks coming from another place. You don't know who this bitch is. She easily could be a wolf. Like, just because she's saying she's not a wolf doesn't mean she isn't. So
I guess maybe they're like, we already threw her guns away.
she's still an enemy. Like, she could take.
No, I know. I understand this.
So I will never understand. Like, it's not like you had to wait to watch her hang. Like, literally, your method is put that scythe into her belly and then raise her up. Takes 5 seconds and then absolutely dead. Maybe you don't have to sit there and watch her hang, but you know she's not doing anything for the enemies.
Yeah.
When her guts are pouring out.
Yeah.
So like you hear enemy attacks and you just go, let her go. Let's let her behind us while we go look at this attack. Like, just loose on our rear. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. And
Yeah.
and then it's like, all right, I'm gonna go right back on the boat and head back into that waters. It made sense that it was just like a scene that they wanted to put in. I think, again, I think it had to do with the fact that she wanted to save that Seraphite first. And now it's like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, again, the scene was just so weirdly put together and not like, believable whatsoever.
And then she gets to the well,
Yeah.
goes in the well, finds two... I think one was Connor. I forget what the other one's name was.
Yeah, the other girl's name, I can't
Pregnant
remember.
woman.
Pregnant.
But,
Don't know she's pregnant.
didn't know until she got killed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird that I feel like they definitely hid that.
Well, she had a big raincoat on, I think.
Yeah. Points Joel's old gun, old Magnum at him, demanding that they point on the map each Abby is so that she and then the one guy's like, I'll do it for her. And I was like, that's not what she said.
Yeah.
She said both of you so that she knows where, like, she knows you're not lying.
Yeah.
It's not the solution there, but
Don't worry, I'll just do it myself. Okay.
yeah, she's like, all right, yep.
And then, obviously reaches for the gun, grabs the gun, stands right back in front of the pregnant woman, which maybe I understand trying to defend yourself, but you got a pregnant woman with you, like, you're risking it's pretty bold move. I don't think it was the right move to try and grab the gun.
I've heard some people say that they think it was a one bullet. I thought it was 2 bullets were shot.
I thought it was one bullet. She shot one, and then immediately her face was like...
Oh, maybe for some reason I thought I remember hearing 2 gunshots. I mean, granted, maybe
look back at one hole.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe the other one did make a hole in the.
Yeah,
but I don't know how it wouldn't get through his neck at the same time.
Yeah, bummed me. I think it went clean through Connor's neck.
That's and
then
got
just sliced her neck enough, which
I guess the jugular.
Yeah, no, but like even the jugular's like it like cut her side of her neck.
No, I thought there was I think there's one vein on the side of the neck that's also bad.
But I mean, a double neck shot's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
like,
little old MW2 collateral.
Yeah, that's insane.
1 shot, 2 kills,
and actually 3 kills. Actually, Ryan.
Triple kill. I didn't know how far along she was. I didn't know if we could count that.
Well, I mean, in my book. That's a bad,
I'm not judging.
That's a human, Ryan. But even the idea of this crazy woman who just shot both of us in the neck, I want you to perform a C-section and then just raise my baby.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part. It's like, what is she gonna do with said child?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a convergent storm outside. Like, what
put her in the dinghy and get out of here.
You want me to slice your boobies up for milk too? Like, what am I supposed to do with this hungry baby? Like, formula's not
you got
come
cows
by
for that.
Yeah, it's not the same, right?
I understand.
You're gonna raise a half cow, half baby.
I mean, I'm not going to.
No,
I'm just saying.
It was such a ridiculous. Like, obviously, like mother's last dying wish, like save the baby, but like maybe in a hospital with trusted people around you.
And then she's like, is he out? And she's like,
yeah, she's like, I'll teach you how to do it. And then goes,
like, how do you do it?
You're doing great. She's just holding the knife and like, this isn't gonna work.
And then it was definitely all just to show the factor of like, you have a friend that's pregnant now and you want to protect her, and and you just murdered a pregnant woman as she's about to have a baby soon.
Well,
what kind of mental struggle does that put in you?
This whole episode is pretty much taking Ellie to rock bottom, and it's hard to get past killing a pregnant woman.
Yeah. So. And then Tommy and Jesse show up. See her. They go back to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy seems like he's like, you know what? Like, we're leaving. You did what you did.
Yeah.
Oh well, they were part of something bad anyway.
Yeah, baby's gonna grow up to be a wolf.
Yeah. Like, are you gonna be okay that Abby isn't the one that died? And you killed 2 other people. Like, you gonna be okay leaving knowing that she's alive and they're dead?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, like I'll have to come to terms with it or whatever. Which I think is the right mindset. You're good.
A little too late.
Yeah, a little too late, but at least she's now finally on the good side.
Yeah. Just in time to everybody else to go down.
Tommy leaves.
Pack the bags.
The main area to pack the duffels. Jesse and Ellie have a little conversation, basically a little, almost an apology from both, being like, Jesse was like, because I think Ellie was like, thank you for coming back. He's like, I know you would have raised hell ran through fire for me, which I was like, I don't fully know if that's the truth, but
not if Abby was around.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's kind of why I was like, I don't really know if
I mean, if it was a choice between saving your life or getting Abby, I think she's choosing Abby.
Without that, yes.
Absolutely.
And then we hear a bunch of ruffling and yelling.
Yeah.
And
so then you barge through a door.
Our boy Jesse dies, which he was one of my favorite characters at this point.
I mean, by far the favorite character. Like, the only righteous. He replaced Joel perfectly for being like a sound-minded, righteous human being. And
the heir to Jackson, Wyoming, just gets gunned down,
dude.
In one shot too. Like,
immediate to the face. Immediate. Like,
I don't think Abby's that good of a shot.
Yeah, she had a recon scan or something going on because she knew where his head was
heartbeat.
Heartbeat. Well, not even a heartbeat. Like, she knew that dude's head. Like, she had a full outline. She knew where that dude's head was gonna be.
She had wall hacks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he busted through the door, and the second the crack of the door opened, bullet right through the face.
And it just
immediately dropped to the ground. So
the only thing I'm hopeful about was it didn't get his head, and he's still alive. He's just faking it. But I know that's not the truth.
She's got cheekbones of steel.
Yeah.
He
caught the bullet.
No, the hole's in his cheek.
I didn't see a hole. I just.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, damn
he had a bullet hole right here.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for, bud.
But then we see Tommy on the ground, clearly beaten. Which at the part of me is like, how did she find him? And then 2, how did Tommy get beaten that bad? Because he's pretty good shot and all these things.
Yeah.
Also, one thing, why were they not doing this discussion in the front where the entrance was?
Because they had protected pregnant Dina guarding the front.
She's in the dressing room.
I know. I'm just saying because they think this pregnant woman can defend the place themselves.
Yeah. But then Ellie's like, kill me. I'm the one that I'm the reason why Joel killed your dad and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I left you alive and you wasted it.
Yeah, I let you live and you wasted it. And
then cut the black gunshot.
So
who shot who?
I think 100%. this is Dina shooting at Abby.
Oh yeah, agree.
It has to be.
Because
She's the only one not on the screen. She heard a gunshot, obviously.
Sure, heard the yelling.
Yeah, probably started walking over and walked in on Abby yelling at Ellie. And
I feel like I remember like that one spot where she was up on that perch when they did leave and she was looking at the front door.
But
I feel like she's probably up on that perch right now and shot down.
But I would be furious, and I mean furious, if Dina kills Abby with this bullet.
Yeah, I don't want sweet Abby to die.
You can't. I mean, I get we're in season 3. We're getting the story of Abby through Seattle, like through day 1, 2, and 3. The fact that in this season, in a matter of maybe 5-10 minutes of screen time, Abby has gotten.
Well, she had 3 episodes, which apparently she was listed as a guest star. Which, if you're listed as a guest star, you can only appear in a certain, I think, percentage or just so many episodes of a season.
Right.
So her limit was 3 episodes to be a guest star.
Which
I don't understand why you couldn't have just listed her as an actress for an actual full role.
Right. You prove my point even more. She's listed as a guest star, and you had her kill Joel and Jesse. And you're going to tell me at the end of that season, she gets shot and killed?
I would hate that.
So in 5 minutes as a guest star, she killed the main character, the next hopeful character, the only other good person in the show, and then gets killed.
What if, spoiler, twist, what if Dina shoots Ellie and goes, bam, Abby, we got him. Long con won. It's been a long con the whole time.
Honestly, this is going to be ridiculous because I know that I think they're in discussions of a 4th season.
Yeah, you'd rather Ellie die.
If Abby killed Ellie there and the show goes on with Abby, I'm not mad.
Honestly, same.
Yeah, like if I'm being, but I know Ellie's immune. Whole purpose of the show was like she's immune. There is hope, but
we don't necessarily know that Abby's not immune though.
That's a good point. I mean, she was acting pretty scared of those clickers.
That's because she's never been bit. Ellie was also scared of the clickers until she got bit and survived.
True. Very true. We don't know who's immune. I mean, let's start testing.
Yeah. Start testing.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out if you're immune.
I mean, it works out. She was in an NFL stadium. We could start testing for PEDs and immunity.
That's true. Seattle Seahawks.
Yep. So, yeah, moves on to the last scene where she wakes up in the Seahawks stadium. One that I did that say the Seahawks have a turf field and not real grass. So that
it's bad for farming.
That part kind of pissed me off a little bit.
That is a hilarious detail that you would look into. Like, excuse me, can't exactly farm on turf.
That's because I you gotta know what teams have turf, and I was like, I can't really wouldn't work on AstroTurf.
Good luck growing any beans on turf, you idiots.
Oh, you're gonna get plastic plants and fruits. Which, granted, they could have just brought in soil, but that would be a huge undertaking in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that is tough to move soil like that. Might as well just do it. I mean, I guess this stadium. So what a sick bunker, too.
Like, that's so sweet.
Like, for your home base to be a Seattle Seahawks stadium, like a football stadium, which you have fully kitted out with all, like, survival stuff. Like, that was a great team.
Main entrances
I'm switching
and exits.
Teams. Switching teams, Rye. I'm a Wolf. They're pretty sick.
Fair.
They're pretty sick. Jackson's not doing great.
Would have been kind of cool if they called themselves the Seahawks, though.
Yeah, they're just the Hawks. But I guess they weren't. Were they always in Seattle? Yeah, they were Washington.
Yeah.
So maybe. There's there's just a bunch of like military forces named after their football teams.
And like I guess back to like Abby possibly leaving, one of my only other thoughts is maybe she's like, I don't know how much I'm assuming she was a Firefly. She didn't like Fedra. So I wonder if maybe she's just like, you guys are now becoming the thing I oppose. Same thing, like, and maybe it was just like, I see
they were
like, you are now Fedra, and I left this.
They did kind of have like a righteous mindset. Like, they're not just killing people; they're only killing Joel. Like, the whole mission with Joel, like, they didn't want to kill too many extra people. So that makes sense. I could see that. Like, they're fed up with this turning into Fedra recognition.
Because it's also like, I don't think the Wolves have like ever been like, nice to anyone coming and trying to like if it seemed like they tried to kill Ellie and them right away, even though like they technically had no, like, they know scars aren't like, they know they're not scars based off like how they look, the weapons they use, stuff like that. So it's not like they have, obviously, like, they're in a war, but it's like, if you guys are this righteous group, you would kind of let in outsiders a little bit, kind of like Jackson, Wyoming, where like Joel's not 100% on the immigrants coming in, but you would still, if you consider yourself a better society than what you took down.
Right. Yeah, I guess, I mean, to a point, I guess if their plan was just to go in like fully innocent, like hands
Yeah,
up,
I agree. That
I
might be
could see
different.
them being a little more welcome to them. But I think that wasn't an option because they knew that Abby's group would recognize them.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair.
So,
Which I mean, also it wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been a good idea, a good plan anyway.
I'm just saying for the fact that Wolf might be welcoming for strangers. We just that wasn't an option really
I
for
see what you're saying.
them.
Maybe.
I don't know. They do seem like dickheads though.
Yep.
That's if the season ends with day 1 in Seattle as Abby wakes up in Seattle Stadium.
Can't wait for season 3 with Abby, which is probably gonna be 2 years from now.
2.5 years.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
But we'll know what happens because we played the game already.
Yep. We'll try and leave spoilers out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
We might end up, we might do the the recap and then be like, all right, spoiler time. Skip this.
yeah. I'll tell you everything that happens in this story now.
Well, because some people that play the game also want to conversate about like what's different, what to expect.
I mean, do we make a Bell Ringers Twitch and just stream the game?
Could I mean?
Not a bad idea. Or we can just, I mean,
I don't think it's a co-op game, so that doesn't help.
No, that's what I'm saying. We could just link both of us playing it, but we'll see.
We will have to find something else to watch because the
Show's over.
Yeah, it show's over, and the I can't remember what the Game of Thrones one that's supposed to come out, but it's not coming out till next year.
Okay.
So we'll need we'll look into this because I don't think there's really many good shows coming out soon.
I was just gonna say I don't know how many shows are coming out soon, but I mean Andor season 2.
Oh yeah, I've watched like 1 episode, so we could kind of do that.
I'd have to watch all of season 1.
Oh. Yeah, I mean we'd be a little bit behind, but I guess we could always pick something and just kind of run through.
Yeah.
We can pick like an old show and just give takes.
Yeah, we absolutely could. All right, you ready to draft?
Yes. Did we post the old one? Yeah, I forgot what it was.
I think you might have beaten me.
The nuke got everyone.
I think it's a lightsaber, so it's just a clear.
Yeah, no, yeah. I have to tell myself it's a nuke.
Yep, 62-38. Good win, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Thank you for everyone voting for me.
Yep. Today's draft is drafts of chain restaurants. So
Sit-in restaurants, so fast food restaurants do not count.
Right. We were talking about the family restaurants you sit in and you grew up on, and just the ones you go to and you can go to just about anywhere.
A whole category of them. All right, thankfully I remembered now. But we're also we said chains have to be basically 3 or more locations.
Correct. I believe you definitely had the first pick with the lightsaber last week, so I will start us off, and I'm going to go Texas Roadhouse.
That's a good one. Only reason why I might not have picked that 1-1 is because there's a good couple other
steakhouses. That is true. Once you get past steakhouses.
So which one did you pick? Texas?
I picked Texas.
Big Texas.
Big Texas. Give me Texas Roadhouse. I think it's the best of the steakhouses, though. Like Outback, Texas Roadhouse, and...
I am, close with another one. I'll just say that.
No shit. Okay.
But I agree for the most part. I'm just going to go with, because it's a place we go quite a lot.
I got to know it. Yep.
One of my favorites, Miller's Ale House.
Absolutely. Got it on the list, right? It's a great pick.
That is one of, if not my favorite.
Zinger Mountain Melt might be one of my favorite dishes of all time.
Yep. And then we're going to go with, I'll go with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, not on the list, right? Not on the list. It's a good pick. Yo, Cheesecake Factory is very, very good.
I wish I didn't know. I knew you didn't have it on your list. So I would have saved it. It was between 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there's a good chance he might take this next.
Give me Buffalo Wild Wings.
Fair.
Great for food. I'm going to say you took a bar that we go to for sports. I think Buffalo Wild Wings' favorite food is wings, and it's known for it, and it's good for sports. And this next one, I'm kind of up in the air with here. One that I love, and I might go with it just because I love it so much. Give me Red Robin.
Oh, that was on my list. But at the same time, I have a strategy with my remaining ones that I think I might have to stick to.
All right. I'm fitting the mold right now of 4 different genres, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Kind of what I'm going to go with. So my other one is going to be, so I got Outback Steakhouse. I love Outback Steakhouse.
Really? See, I think that's a dominating win for me.
I think I do like Texas, but I gotta get a steakhouse in there, and then I'm gonna
know where Texas really went down though, Rye? It's when they stopped allowing the peanuts during COVID.
Oh,
you used to just be able to. They had barrels of peanuts you could just scoop. They give you buckets of peanuts, but they don't do it anymore.
Bloomin' onion is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, who's got better bread? Because we both got really good bread.
Oh, Texas.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Texas is the butter, but I do love that like brown bread.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Outback.
Last pick and go with A1 Hibachi Steakhouse.
Ooh, I didn't think of hibachis. Right, that's huge.
Getting a little mixture, getting some culture in there with hibachi.
I'll tell you what, right? That's a good late pick. I'm going a different route with my. Was that your final? No.
Yep. Yeah, that was my final pick.
Okay. You know what I'm taking that you didn't hop on at all?
Yeah, I know.
The whole genre?
Yep, that was the one. I almost wish I didn't pick Cheesecake Factory so I could get that.
Give me International House of Pancakes.
Oh, that was not what I was thinking.
IHOP, baby. Breakfast.
I hate IHOP. That's one of the worst breakfast places.
No, it's not. Denny's sucks.
Denny's and Waffle House are better.
I said I've never been to a Waffle House.
Fair.
So, IHOP. IHOP is not terrible, dude.
You
You go there for pancakes, you get pancakes.
Yeah, but there's better pancakes. I like pancakes, not one of the biggest fans of pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my top dish either, but
Much rather have like an omelet or eggs for breakfast.
so obviously, definitely some honorable mentions out here. So we're gonna have honorable mentions just because I didn't want many of the same like type of food.
Yeah,
So there's one that I wish I got though.
basically all Mexican restaurants. Mexican's my favorite food, so I kind of Chili's. Plaza Azteca is one of my favorite Mexican places, or the one I used to work at. Margarita's pretty good.
Margaritas is really good.
But at the same time, the way I was formulating my list, I was like, all right, these are there if you take something else. But the way it was lining up,
So
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. I see. I could never and would never take Olive Garden.
I kind of was looking at you. I was like, he's not taking this. You just got.
I'd be embarrassed to have it on my list. Red
But
Lobster, but they're going out of business.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Applebee's and Chili's. We said Chili's.
Yeah.
So that's
TGI
pretty much all
Fridays.
of them.
We kind of mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, TGI Fridays. Yes.
Trying to think of like what I drive past.
Uno's is another Mexican joint.
Oh, well, I guess then we have Chickies and Pete's.
Oh,
Definitely could have taken that.
Definitely could have taken Chickies and Pete's. That's a good one. Shit.
I don't know why I just didn't. I thought of that before I made my list, and then as soon as I got to my list, completely blew my mind until now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like seafood. Really, that like what are known seafood?
I feel
places?
like a seafood like chain is not good.
Yeah, that's
Because like seafood is like you'd rather it fresh, so you need a restaurant that gets it in rather than like.
Yeah.
I feel like most chains are probably getting it in frozen.
And you're gonna go down the shore and
Yeah.
get it to a place nearby, and they're not like chains down the shore.
Exactly. Which is probably one of the reasons why Red Lobster doesn't do great.
Yeah, because the lobster's delivered far away. All right. Want to recap?
Yes. Recapping our best chain restaurants draft.
Chain restaurants. I had the first pick. I went Texas Roadhouse, and then got Buffalo Wild Wings, Red Robin, and ended it with IHOP.
And I went with Miller's Ale House, Cheesecake Factory, Outback Steakhouse, and A1 Hibachi.
A1 Hibachi is gonna hurt me.
Yeah, that's.
I know.
Everyone loves hibachi.
I know, and when you said A1, I was like, do I take Ari Rang now? Like, like I don't know how popular Ari Rang is,
I've
but
never even heard of that one.
that's the only other hibachi in our area. It's literally A1, and then like not far from A1 is Ari Rang.
I think it helped. I saw some friends on Instagram posted. I think it was like a bachelor party weekend, and they got hibachi made at like the bachelor party house, and I was like, thankfully this popped in my mind right now.
Yeah, I looked up JB Dawson's.
Let's see how many locations.
2.
Oh.
It's Langhorne and Lancaster. So I was like, damn, like I would immediately get 2 picks if I picked JB Dawson's, but didn't qualify.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had another location, so I didn't even think about it.
I just assumed they were a chain, but I guess not. So yeah, that is our chain restaurant draft. Let us know in the comments.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say good draft that we haven't done.
You got 2 steakhouses one on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I think it's like A1 Hibachi Steakhouse, but
yeah. Did you get a burger joint?
Well, Miller's kind of has burgers, but not really.
Yeah, I got range. I got real good range on mine. So
I got some.
I just hate that you got hibachi. I might get some. I mean, like I said, I got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I'm happy. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week with Stanley Cup Finals and NBA Championship.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, might be a couple games in already.
Yeah, and then we'll be struggling for things to talk about for a little while.
Our pop culture might be dwindling, but
yeah, well, we're losing pop culture. We're gonna be losing the NBA and NHL.
Yeah,
strictly baseball for a little while.
Whew, a baseball podcast. That'd be
might
insane.
be getting into some soccer.
Ooh, do we pick some Premier League teams?
I already got one.
I have a Premier League team. I just don't know how good they're doing.
Mine are not doing good. Well, one just is getting
Are
back
you
in
a
the Premier
Tottenham
League.
guy?
No, God, no.
Okay.
My team just lost to Tottenham, so it doesn't help.
Okay. So you're Premier League. So you're an English team?
Yeah.
Liverpool?
Well, no, Man U.
Man U.
Yeah, but also
I'm a Chelsea guy.
got a little bit of fandom in the Leeds, which just got back in the Premier League on the come up. Probably going to go back down next season, but whatever.
Yeah. See, I loved. You know who I was? I was a big fan of Eden Hazard. So I followed him to Chelsea, and then he left Chelsea. I'm like, I don't want to leave Chelsea. I want to stick with Chelsea. And
I love Wayne Rooney and Dibitov Berbatov.
yeah, that's fair.
It's the playing FIFA, just the dude going Dibitov Berbatov.
Yeah, my favorite player never played for Chelsea too, so it's kind of weird that I lean toward. It's just I love my favorite soccer player of all time, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Well, that's fair. He's
just
he's
the
a
best.
god.
He's just the best. Yeah. Who did he play? He played for AC Milan. I did like AC Milan.
He also played for Man U as well.
He did play Man U. He played Man U a little. He played Barcelona, I think, for a little. Barcelona. Yeah. He played Man U. He played AC Milan. And PSG. He played PSG for a while.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, I mean, I'm down to look into some Premier League or some soccer, pick a team and really ride with them.
I think they're kind of towards the end of the season too, though. That's
great. Great time. Great time to hop on a bandwagon.
We just had the Europa Finals, and
I'm
pretty sure that I can't think of the damn. My team's out of this year, so I kind of forgot about the name. I can't think of the main European Cup final.
It's not Premier League final, right?
No, it's like Juventus in it, Inter Milan, AC Milan.
Oh shit, I don't know either. Well, I mean, we'll look into it, see if we can catch it.
But I'm pretty sure that final's also soon.
Okay, sweet. We'll just catch right at the end of the championships. We'll just go through all the playoffs and championships. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you always like, comment, subscribe.
Follow on X.com, the Everything app, Instagram, and TikTok at BellRingersPod.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.